Hello, everyone, and this is Reggie. Hope everybody's having an awesome weekend. And today's video is going to be about the age-old question you see in chat rooms. It's a question I get all the time, and it's people asking, "Hey, if I have X amount of dollars, where would you put it?" Right? People say, "Oh, if I've got $1,000, what stock should I put it in? Oh, I've got this much money. How much? What stock should I put it in?" I'm going to just broadly answer the question because there is no one answer, but this is how I'm answering it today. I mean, to be honest with you, there's so many winners in different sectors. I can be honest I can recommend hundreds of stocks, but one I think that kind of outshines a lot of them right now. Now you don't want to, the stock isn't a hype stock, right? I'm not going to tell you Tesla, right? Tesla would be a good winner, but if you're working like again, if you have $1,000 or even if you have like 10 grand, um, uh, it's going to be tough, right? So the stock I would recommend is going to be something that's an up and coming winner. It's going to be something that it's when you first start stock trading, you always hear, "Man, if I'd have got Amazon back before it was actually Amazon, when it was trading for pennies on a dollar or whatever, man, I wish I'd have got that." So the stock I would answer that question to would be drum roll Square. That's right, Square. It's actually two answers now. So Square or PayPal. And so the reason I'm gonna give you the reasons for that. Digital currency, right? Now some people would say, well, what about Bitcoin, right? Okay, good point. I think Bitcoin has already made that run. It's still going, definitely still going. But Bitcoin, one of those like, man, if I knew back in like 2005, 2000, even 2010, man, that. So that's where we're at right now, and I think PayPal and Square are one. Again, there are many options to choose from within the same category that could still make you the same money, but as far as the future, Square, PayPal, and I'm sure it's going to be other uh, companies similar that we probably haven't heard of yet. That may become the front runners. But Square and PayPal are poised and set up to be those front runners for currency. Now, right now, if you go to your barber or whatever, they take Square, they take, Cash App, they take, Venmo and all that stuff, right? Now, this is why it's so attractive. Square, Square owns Cash App. Venmo is owned by PayPal. I think I got that order right. Let me double check my notes. I could have it wrong. It could be switched, but they own them too, right? Square and PayPal own Venmo and Cash App. They're an extension of those financial institutions. Square dominates small businesses. Small businesses, most small businesses have a Square reader. Square got in the game early, and what they've done, this is based off the living in society, right? You can do research and all that, but experience and things I see with my own eyes. Square just where the anti banks, right? With banks, before, especially if you've had a business with banks, you've had to you would sign up and they would bring a card reader. They would charge you for that card reader. They would charge you like 4 or 5% on every transaction, which was just crazy. Square does charge it. At one point it was like 3.5. I don't know where it's at now, but they gave you technology, right? Excuse me. They gave you, they didn't charge you for the readers. The readers were free. You connected to your smartphone. So Square made their leap utilizing smartphones, right? Because as a small business, if you're a barber or whatever, you would attach that reader to your phone and you would swipe credit cards. We've evolved past that now, where you have Cash App, you've got Venmo, and you can just do mobile payments. You just send, your barber, hey, what's your name? Bam. You have them say to your contacts, bam. You just send them a payment. It's quick and it's easy, right? Um, Also, banks, to me, banks really, really took us for granted as far as the public with if you had a debit card and you went you spent something, you weren't paying attention to your balance, and you went over by like 5 cents, you would get charged a $35 overdraft fee and plus on top of that a $20 insufficient. So like being making a 3 cent mistake costs you $50, and it's just abuse. I mean it's an opinion, but it's abuse. And so hey, the nice guy came in, Square, Square, PayPal. They came in and boom, changed the game. Man, they don't have those. If you go over your limit, it'll just decline, right? It was just probably that probably should have would have been in the first place. We did have legislation through the Obama administration where they changed a lot of the banks regulations and stuff. But now banks are kind of hurting. If you're trading the bank stocks, they've been hurting throughout this whole COVID thing. And Square and PayPal has been thriving. I was a little concerned when PayPal dropped. When eBay, because I think everybody knows PayPal through eBay, but eBay and Square kind of separated. So I was concerned with that, but PayPal made a comeback, man. Yes, eBay and PayPal. PayPal made a comeback because they came out with Bitcoin, right? Or they come out with it, but you can now do transactions using Bitcoin through PayPal. Game changer. One of the things about Bitcoin, I think, was accessibility with Bitcoin. I mean, I see kiosks in Bitcoin kiosks in malls and stuff now, but I just think accessibility. And so now, if you've got PayPal and let's say you do sell that item, and they still have a relationship with eBay. But if you buy something on eBay, you can use Bitcoin. Or if you are hey you a barber, you can say hey I now take Bitcoin. Send it to me through PayPal, whatever. Uh, right now we're in the infancy of it, and I think it was a game changer by PayPal accepting Bitcoin. So I say that to say this is what the future is going to be. Before gold, so you got Bitcoin replacing gold eventually, right? Um, Before gold was a safe haven. The U.S. dollar used to be married to gold, and so it's a whole nother story about what happened with that. But now people are seeing Bitcoin as new safe haven. It's a bit volatile now, but it's the future. You have contactless payment, Apple Pay, and all that stuff. Um, that's nice, but you've now Square and PayPal is the future for financial transactions, based off of how they've progressed and upset the market with paying digitally. Now it's kind of weird. Like it's funny, man, because I rarely ever keep cash in my pocket now. Like before I used to, I remember especially when I was a kid, my dad used to have like big fat wallet full of cash, and now it's like I'm like, man, I got $5 somewhere? Because everything is like it's digital. All your money's digital now. And COVID, we've been through with COVID, and it's just speaking from a financial point of view. I mean, it's a horrible tragedy. The amount of people that's died from it, and it's definitely a tragedy. Number one, but as far as talking about finance, COVID accelerated something that was already happening. Right, we were already starting the conversion from using paper money, using credit cards, swiping your card. We've already started that progression from that to using your Square, your Venmo, your PayPal, your Apple Pay. You just tap your phone at the register. Even that, I think, is being surpassed now by Square, by PayPal. So this is why I feel now that's going to be the new. in 5 years from now, we're gonna look back like, man, I wish I'd have invested in Square. Man, I wish I got invested in PayPal. So that's the next level. And let me show you a chart here. This chart shows mobile value transfer by devices. The top 10 institutions. JP Morgan Chase, they're a juggernaut, right? But look at Venmo. Venmo's catching them. We got Bank of America, Wells Fargo, City, and look at Cash App on there. So they're in the hunt, and this has been accelerated by what's been happening with COVID. People going, touchless. And another thing too is what COVID has done, it's forced people to change. So if you were old school, you still got you may have some rare people still writing checks. Who knows? But if you were still old school cash, you go to registers now and they're like, "Hey, bro, we don't take cash, man." If you're old school and you still want to swipe your credit card, it's a lot of places that may not take that. Hey, we use wireless payment. Um, we were recently at Disney and it was that way. You had to use wireless payment. So society's still catching up a little bit, but it forced those who were traditionally stubborn to change if you wanted to get things correct. If you wanted to, pay for that Uber, it's hands free. You pay for Uber's hands free. That's been going on. So this is what it has done. I mean, look at this chart. This is post. This is pre-COVID, 2019. I will probably do. I'm gonna do a little homework, see if I can find a recent study. But geez, this is before COVID, so I'm sure these numbers have probably accelerated substantially. So let's go look at the chart, right? So let's start with PayPal. And shout out to everyone who's subscribed and also liked my videos. I appreciate it. It helps with the YouTube algorithms and lets them know that, hey, people are watching and this is useful information, and they will give me further exposure to help people just like you that's watching this video that this may be new information to you, or this may be confirmation of what you already know, or it's just hearing another voice, or just talking shop. Sometimes I listen to other people's other traders too, just because it's nice to hear other people talk shop. So this is PayPal. So it's been a little rugged here, right? But it bust through this resistance line, $212. So if you look here, it hit resistance, right? Bow, hit its head. I like to compare this to like a bird that hits a window, right? It's a resistance. The first thing the bird does is what drops, right? So that's what this chart is doing. It hit this resistance line, bam, fell to the bottom of the Bollinger Band here, went up to the middle of the Bollinger Band, came down, uh, spiked up, had like a W, almost formed a W, came back, burst through this resistance, failed breakthrough, fell again, and then ramped back up. And I like this volume here. Look at this volume. And I mean, look at that candlestick. That if that isn't a sign to buy, I mean, I usually wouldn't say bet the house, but when you see this type of setup right here, this is a bet the house setup, which is rare. But you gotta know when to sell, right? Because once it got up here, and when you see this, look at that. When you see those matching candlesticks right there, that is a reversal sign if I've ever seen one. So, but that's where you see this volume though, right? Because a lot of people was like, "Yo, that if that's not a buying sign, I don't know what is." It's way below the bottom. Traditionally, if something falls outside of the bottom of the Bollinger Band, that is a buy signal. There are other factors you consider too, but there's usually a buy signal. So anyway, it ramped up. Boom, we had very good buying here. Consolidated, small pullback, and then bam. So this is where we're at as of December 4th. So we're hanging up outside of the 212 resistance, and now that resistance is support. So now we're sitting on support. It's tested support too, right? Because you got here on November 30th, it had a false breakout, a false pullback. See that wick right there? It had a false pullback. It jumped, came down, had selling going on, but still supported that 212 supported it. Here we have buyers, and Monday it looks like it's going to start off at 217, so we should be seeing upward momentum. Um, Volume needs to be better though. I mean, this was Friday, so I think Fridays are usually sometimes low volume days. Depends on market conditions, but Friday was all across the whole market. Friday was a low volume day. Let's check out the RSI. RSI is showing a downtrend. It is overbought right now. Um, but let's look at the MACD. MACD is showing a small decline here on the volume. Then the lines we're showing uptrend. So I would start a small position here and watch where it goes, especially if it comes back down to this 212. And if it finds support, that'll be a clear buying signal. But keep eye on these. The Bollinger Band look like it's starting to open up too. But I do foresee upward momentum with PayPal. Now, again, as I always say, you should never blindly follow someone else's trading. You have to have a filter for information. I'm sure everybody has an opinion. Um, Everybody has slightly different views, especially when it comes to technical analysis. But numbers don't lie. But at the end of the day, none of us has the right to tell a stock which way to go. Correct? All we're doing is making a hypothesis. So again, use this information to help fit your trading style, your trading goals, and obviously your budget. Um, but this looks good. This is PayPal, especially, and this is a long play. I would give this a long play. I'm a swing trader, but this is a long play. I would probably do a credit spread under the 212 because the support looks so strong, and then also a play on a debit spread on this chart. But again, man, use this towards your trading style. But PayPal, but if you're just going long, right? Because even I'm a swing trader, but a certain most of your portfolio shouldn't be swing trading, right? Shouldn't be short term trades. At least 60 to 70% of your portfolio should be long, strong positions, and we call those anchor stocks, right? Or you can call it a foundation, because if you make a bad swing trade, you don't want to blow up your whole account. Swing trades will help grow your account substantially faster than long positions, but that long position is your foundation, right? Just like building a house. The foundation isn't pretty. You don't paint it, but it supports the whole house. You build the pretty house on top of it. So, your anchor stocks, you want to be your concrete foundation. It may not look pretty. It may not have, you can't paint it, you can't put nice furniture on it, but you build the pretty house on top of that foundation. So that pretty house will be your swing trades. So let's take a look at Square. And Square has a similar setup, right? Let's draw some trend lines here. And again, we all, even people do technical analysis, we all have our own style of drawing trend lines, but we're pretty much all in the same ballpark. And I like this because it's near that we're in an uptrend. All my indicators showing an uptrend. I'm liking the RSI. Actually, I think Square might be a better buy right now than PayPal. Just because look at this RSI, it looks like it's about to cross over, head towards the overbought. It's good that it's in the middle, right here in the middle. That's really really good sign. Uptrend price action. Let's see what the MACD looks like. MACD's a little suspect, but it looks like that MACD may just go parallel. We want to keep an eye on it. It looks like it just completed an uptrend and heading towards a small downtrend. Um, so we do have a bit of convergence between the RSI and the MACD. But for the most part, this is a good long play. Square or PayPal. Another thing you want to be aware of, if you look over here, the spread on Square is a bit substantial, right? We've got $18 spread, which is a lot. That's rough. I mean, I like to see a dollar spread at the most, but $18, woo, that's a little rough. But there's a reason for it. They don't, you know, they wouldn't have an $18 spread if they couldn't pull it off, right? Usually, just like you pay more for a Mercedes than you would a Kia. No knock on Kia, good cars, but there's a reason why there's a price difference. Um, so it's again, if you're going long, that spread doesn't matter too much, but it just means that the before it shows a profit on your trading account, it's got to hit a it's basically has to have like a $20 uh, gap up. So you might instantly see a negative, depending on how your broker calculates your portfolio performance. You may automatically see an $18 negative after you buy the stock per share. Um, but once it gaps up by $20, you're fine. But anyway, it's Square. It's good stock. They can get away with that. Um, Volume is okay, decent volume here. We like to see more volume, but overall the market volume is low. Um, so that's my technical analysis on Square and PayPal. Right now, I think I would probably move on Square. I would put a position on a Square. Check it out on Monday, see where it goes. Look like we may let's check out some support on this. Where can we find support? Right here. So we got support at 199. Most likely $200, and we're not far from it. We're at 208, so we're not far from it at all. Um, but yeah, so to answer the question, the original question that people love to ask, hey, if I have X amount of dollars, what's the one stock you would put it in? Well, I guess the initial answer is zero because I would never put all my money in one stock. But if you had a certain amount of money you want to put into a stock, I would go with Square and or PayPal for the future. Especially talk about a stock that you put money in and you just walk away. If you're not a trader and you just want to put money in the market and go about your business and never look at your investment account for years, to like 3 or 4 years from now, I would trust my money with Square and PayPal. And again, stock trading, your mentality for stock trading, especially for your parents, should be the same mentality for picking a babysitter, right? You won't let anybody just babysit your kids or watch your kids, or you would trust with your kids, right? Same with your money. Don't just trust any stock to watch your money, right? You want a babysitter that's going to read to your kids, may help them with their homework and educate them, and hopefully your kids are better when you pick them up than when you drop them off, right? Same thing with your money. When you drop it off, when you drop your money off, you want it to be better and grow and be in a better position than when you dropped it off. So I definitely trust Square and PayPal to watch my kids. All right, we'll see you in the next video.